Buddy, I hope you're doing fantastic today. It's a beautiful Earth Day morn, and I'm going to be getting out in the garden today and then back in the classroom to do some planting. We're going to celebrate Earth Day by doing those things. I figure that's one of the best ways to get out there and celebrate is by getting some dirt under my nails, by planting, weeding, doing all the trimming I got to do and fertilizing and whatnot. But in today's video, I'm going to show you how to go from a plant that's in soil and then take it and put it in the aquaponic system and get it growing in there, because the summertime's coming up. I want to divide and propagate and grow as many of these plants as I can, a lot of them house plants in there. And so today's video, we're going to do just that. I got a beautiful little cat palm or cascade palm. What is it? A Chamaedorea cataractarum. I'll add it. You see it below. Pretty cool plant. I think native to Mexico. We're going to I have bought one. It's in a little cluster. We're going to divide it so that way I have one plant and then we'll have many by the time that we're done. Maybe we'll leave one in soil and then perhaps the rest of the bits will go in the aquaponic system. Let's see how it works out. So here's our beautiful little specimen we got that we're going to deal with today. Like I said, it's a cat palm or cascade palm, native to Mexico, also called the cataract palm, Chamaedorea cataractarum. And so we are going to get after it. We're going to see, you can see there's a little cluster in there. We're going to get in there and start dividing that. We're going to wash away some of the soil and then see if we can't actually grow it in the aquaponic system and see if it'll actually work. I've never grown these in the aquaponic system, and I'm curious to do that. Like I said, we'll probably leave one or two bits into soil, and then the rest of it, we'll see if we can get it to grow in the aquaponic system and see how well that works out. Let's take a look. What I'm going to do first is actually, let's see. I'm going to get in here, and I'm going to just gently, whoa, you can see some of that fertilizer come pouring out. Some of their little, what is that, looks like broken down pieces of packing foam, if anything. So now I'm getting down, getting their roots exposed. I'll flip it over. If you have to, you can soak this in water and wash it away with water. We're actually going to do that towards the end to get those last bits and pieces off, especially for the ones that we're going to put in the aquaponic system. Now I'm getting down to a part where the roots are tied together so well, even though they are kind of individuals in a way. The roots are tied together so tightly that I'm either going to have to rip it apart, or if you're afraid of ripping it, you can use some pruners, although I don't like getting my pruners dulled out in the soil. You could use a sharp knife if you feel confident with that. If you are younger or you don't want to put yourself at risk with a knife, like I said, you can kind of just keep teasing this until more of that soil moves away, and you kind of untwangle some of their roots from each other, and then it'll make it eventually a little easier. Like I said, if you have to incorporate water in this to this step, that'll help too. If you have to rip them just a hair, I'm kind of grabbing two parts and kind of gently twisting. Look at that, and they pulled right apart. Sometimes if it's thicker and your hands are not going to be strong enough, even a tool like this, you can kind of get in there and use it to divide some of these, hopefully without damaging too much. But I like trying to be patient a little bit with what I recommend and use your hands to really get in there and work them about, because you don't want to do too much damage to the base of that stem. Hopefully you can see this. I'm not very good at filming, but you don't want to damage. You don't want to damage where this part right in here, where the base of that stem meets the roots. If you do a lot of damage there, you're going to be doing a lot of harm to your plant. But look at that. So that's one that we got. There's a little baby one in here. That's two specimens, two individuals. Oh, look, now they're coming right apart now. We got three. Hopefully I'm filming this properly. Four. My camera might be dying. The battery is low, and I got more to go. Like I said, you don't want to just rip on them, because you might just actually rip the stem, the base of that stem, away with no roots on it. You want to try to have each one have some roots on it. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe we'll say 6. That one's pretty little, but we'll say 5.5. These little ones we'll put into soil potentially, or I could put in the aquaponic system. We'll see. But 7, 8. Oh, come on, baby. Like I said, you don't just be patient. A little gentle twisting and pulling is kind of all you need. What was that, 9? You see, there's a root that came loose. That's okay. That's to be expected. 10, and it looks like, look at that. These ones are done. They're just pull apart gently. 11 and 12. Booyah! So now we got a bunch of these. We're gonna, like I said, some of them that are gonna go in the aquaponic system will get rinsed. The other ones will go right into soil. and we went from having one cluster of plants to a dozen. All right, so I took a few of them that I'd separated out, and the smallest ones, you can see I potted up in a little 3.5-inch pot. Of course, I got my Sure Start organic starter fertilizer added to it. We actually doctored up our potting soil. I used a green all potting mix, and then we added in a bit of perlite and a bit of vermiculite to kind of enhance its drainage properties with the perlite. Helps it drain a bit. Vermiculite does the same a little bit, but it also helps hold water just a hair. And so I like that mixed together. Of course, like I said, we added in that starter fertilizer. And it's got some mycorrhizal fungi in there, which is fantastic. Get that soil alive. But so we kept a few in soil. We're gonna grow a few like that. But then as you can see, I've got some right here that are prepared and ready to go into our aquaponic system. An aquaponic system, for those of you who don't know, is very much like a hydroponic system, except for instead of adding the fertilizer and the nutrition, we just feed fish. If the fish poo, bacteria breaks that down. Bada bing, bada boom, you got plant fertilizer. The plants pull out what's toxic to the fish, and it's all a good thing. We'll have other videos on aquaponics, but for today, we are just going to be planting in our aquaponic system. We have several here. There's one right there. This is all built by students, some pretty darn cool students that I've had over the years, and this one was one we built, and we kind of continue to work on them and improve upon their build. Like I've said before, normally we utilize these for growing herbs and food. Ingredients that we can utilize with our culinary students, but because of everything this last year and whatnot, and I decided just to propagate and cultivate a lot of tropicals and houseplants in there for us to grow, give to the students, and then of course sell. So today we're going to be trying to add to although there's not much room actually in a lot of these systems, we're going to sneak some in there. You can see our not artwork's not quite fully finished. Oh, don't look at my mess. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to try to get those little cataract palms, those cat palms, and we're going to get them installed. You can say it, and then, oh, of course, sorry for the pan, but that's, of course, our first aquaponic system. So here we go. So the goal is to get these plants installed in there. We're going to plant them up into the gravel. We're probably going to have them buried no further than just above those roots into the gravel, maybe just a hair above, not much. I've actually washed off all the dirt. It's really important when you're doing the aquaponic system. You don't want to put dirt into your system. It just messes everything up. That's the whole point, is that it's a dirt, soil-free kind of situation. So I've actually rinsed these off outside, had them soaking in a bucket, then I blasted them with the hose, with a kind of a gentle spray to knock away any soil. I wouldn't recommend doing it in the sink at home unless you want to get yelled at by the people you live with. In my case, it'd be my wife, and she would probably be furious if I put a bunch of mud and dirt in the sink. She lets me get away with a lot, but that's not one of them. And so you can see right here, all the dark matter on there is actually just papery, like layers, tunic layers around the growing plant. So all the dirt is gone. Like I said, any of that dark material is like just roots and other plant material that's actually attached to the plant. Like I said, so you want to get it really, really clean. And without much ado, let me go set up the tripod so I can show you how I do it. All right, well, let's give it a shot. Like I said, I've grown a lot of things in the aquaponic systems. This cataract palm, this cat palm is the first time I've ever grown one in here. There's not much space in here. I'm gonna put this one right in the middle. The aquaponic system, there's about 1 inch to 2 inches of dry gravel, and then below that is about 6 to 7, maybe even 8 inches of water flowing from left to right here. So here we go. And that's basically it. We're gonna do that a few more times. I'm gonna try to sneak these in here. Like I said, I'll put them all throughout our systems here. Let's see if I can get another shot. So just like the other one, we're gonna get that guy down in there, plant it up. Definitely not past that first branch, maybe even a little bit lower, and try to get those roots down into this gravel. So you can move the gravel gently so you can see the water level right there. It's so easy to plant like this compared to even out in the garden. Look at this Dieffenbachia is giving me trouble. And so I'm actually going to even tilt this one outside a little bit, because you can see it's actually it's overgrowing the situation already. But you know, hey, it's an experiment. That should work out real nice. And we're going to put a few more all throughout. If you've liked this video or enjoyed the content, please dig into that like button and cultivate on the subscribe, because we'd love to have you back. If you have a comment about this, please leave a comment. We'd love to have you. But until then, I got some gardening to do. Happy Earth Day to you all. Best wishes and happy gardening.